Hello everyone, it's Vicky here today for Simple Stories, and I am designing with their new Christmas collection called Hearth and Holiday. Now this one is very traditional Christmas colours and I think you'll love it. I want to use the stencil that comes with this collection and these two papers that you will have seen just now. I'm going to cut a circle in the middle of this piece of paper. I love the lines on it. I love the diagonal stripe around the edge, and I love that it says Santa Claus Express at the top, and you'll see why in a second. So I'm just using that, it's like a little ruler compass which I got on Amazon, and it's sort of, I think it's designed for children because it's got no sharps on it, but I find that works best for me drawing circles. And then I go ahead and use a scalpel knife, which is not good for me because I'm very accident prone. But anyway, I get through it, there's no mishaps, and I get my circle cut. So there's my circle, and I want to put this paper in the background of it. And the reason I want to use this paper is because it's a similar colour to part of the background on my photo. There's a shed in the background that my niece is standing in front of, and it's sort of a tealy bluey colour. So anyway, so I'm going to use this stencil, and this is why I wanted to leave Santa Claus Express there. I'm going to put Santa on his sleigh, going over my circle. So I'm just using some black Distress Oxide ink. I could use any black, but that's the black I have. But I need to move the stencil around a little bit because I want it to go over my circle rather than in the position that it was set up. And I do make a little bit of a mess there. I put some ink where it shouldn't go, but actually using my eraser it actually comes off fairly easily, and I use my pencil to fill in where it didn't fill very well, if that makes sense. So it's not perfect, but it sort of works for what I want. So now what I decide to do is to tape off my stencil this time so that I don't have that happen again. So I tape off just one of the reindeer, and I put some, this is just a very large washi tape, and I just put that around it. And then first of all that helps it stick to the page and keeps it still, but also it stops me putting any other ink that I don't want on the page. And I'm going to put 3 more reindeer on there, so I have 4 altogether, although there are only 3 in the line on the stencil. It sort of works for me to have 4 on the page. There we go. Very adaptable stencil, and I love it. I should definitely see me using this one again. So I'm going to rough up the edges a bit more. I did distress the edge of the circle, but now I'm just going to rough them up a little bit more, just to add a bit of texture to my page. And then I'm going to stick them on here. And I want to save that Santa with his reindeer because I might use that again. So I just cut that off and then back my circle with this paper here. And before I stick it down, I put some foam on the inside edge of the circle, and I don't stick that, but it's just so that I've got that added piece of dimension underneath the circle. There we go, just 2 strips go around in a circle, and then I'm just sticking that down there. Okay, so you can see just that gives that little bit of height between the bottom and the top page. So there's my photo. It's my niece with a little Rudolph that my husband made from logs, and she's looking super cute in the photo, so I wanted to use that. And this is the other half of the stencil. So I sticky tape off the Santa and his sleigh, and I just keep the houses and the snow, or maybe the stars. And I'm going to use some white acrylic paint and a flat paintbrush, and I'm just going to dab paint into the holes on here for the snow and for the houses, and it just sort of gives that silhouette. And the white, I find white acrylic paint is a little bit better than white ink. Sometimes white ink doesn't show particularly well. I know some of them do, but mine I think is running out, so it's not great. So I think acrylic paint does the trick. And because I dabbed it on with a brush, it dries super quickly. So that's almost pretty much dry now as it is. So I'm putting some foam on the back of my photo. I want to create quite a bit of dimension in this corner with my photo. There are 2 photos there that you will have just seen. I only use one, but my niece posed quite a bit, so I do have a couple, but I think only one is needed on this layout. So these are the little chipboard pieces, and I've got some more houses in there. So I just build up this little scene inside the circle, and I like how that looks. And then I want to use florals. I love using florals, and these are really beautiful, very Christmassy. I love the little orange slices and the holly, and then the poinsettias. It just looks really pretty, and I like it. And it all matches in with my photo, sort of the woody feel of the photo. There's browns in the little embellishments as well, the cinnamon sticks. So yeah, and a little gift there. I love that tag. It says, the thing I love most about Christmas is who I celebrate it with. And I think that's a really nice little sentiment there. Christmas is all about sort of getting together with friends and family. And yeah. So we've got a gingerbread man up there. Love him. He's pretty cute. I'm just adding some dimension to my florals just by folding up the leaves. So I sort of fold down the middle, and that just makes them look a bit more dimensional when you come to stick them down. Just stuck down my houses. I'm going to put this Christmas tree in there in front of the houses and start to stick down my bits and pieces. This piece here, I just cut out a little bit between the two holly pieces just so that I can fold them individually to add that dimension. And I'm going to stick that down on foam as well, just for that extra bit of pop. Again, I'm going to crease up the leaves here to stick under the photo. And this one as well. These ones down the edge, I do actually just stick flat to the page, these florals, but because I've folded up the leaves, it makes it look like there's much more dimension there. There we go. And I do put this little gift onto foam to add some dimension to that. And I'm using Scotch tacky glue, which I find is fantastic. You've got a little bit of time before it completely sticks, but then once it does, it sticks really well. And I'm going to take a corner of the foam off of that photo just because I want it to overlap the gift there. So that photo isn't stuck down on the inner corner next to the circle, where the circle is. It's just hanging up, but it's completely stuck down there. I'm going to put a bit of foam onto the gingerbread man or gingerbread lady. I don't know, it could be either. I don't think gingerbread people wear clothes, so it could be either one. And then that little Santa Claus North Pole letter there, I think looks really cute, just stuck in there. See if it's going off to Santa. He's come to receive it. And then that little tag I'm going to put into the bottom. And I curled up the corner just for a bit of added texture. I love that little candy cane there with the browns and greens and reds in it. A couple of chipboard pieces, I put that there. And this piece, I just take off the snowflakes off of this one and I add that little sprig in there just to complete that little area. And what I'm looking for a title now. I love these foam titles. And I love Oh What Fun, because I'm thinking, oh, what fun it is to ride. And that works really well with the stencil that I use. And I just stick that on top there. It's quite dimensional, so it's going to be bulky in my album, but I love how it turned out. The final layout's there. I really hope this is giving you some inspiration for this collection. I love the traditional feel to it. It's really, really pretty for all of your traditional. And I could see some vintage photos as well being added to this. There are some close-ups there for you to have a look at. Please do let me know if you have any questions. Hearth and Holiday is in store. I think it's probably with your favourite retailer now. And yeah, so in the meantime, this has been Vicky for Simple Stories. Until next time, goodbye.